Alright, so here's where we're at now. Got everything off except the two frame rails. And got a plumb bob from this center line right here. This is a little stud that lines up right with the center of this car. I checked it side to side from the pinch welds on the bottom, either side. I've got the car leveled up side to side, and I've also got the car leveled front to rear so I can get some reference points, make sure this plumb bob is hanging pretty good. So I measured it between these two frame rail outcrops down in this area over here, right below this bulkhead here, and it's like a 1/16 of an inch difference side to side. So when I said I was going to probably cut the entire frame rail out, there's a lot of layers under there, a lot of stuff that has to be taken away, and I don't see the real need for it at this point. I think I'm just going to take it from here, drill out these spot welds, and I'll probably follow it down right here, straight down, which is a pretty substantial member right here. And I'll put some plating on the inside around the whole thing, and then slide the new pieces on there. Now, I went through the trouble of taking off the shock towers and everything, drilling out all of the spot welds, just out of matter of curiosity to see how it was assembled and where the layers were and so forth. And also the shock towers themselves, while they were riding along the top of those bent frame rails, they're in pretty decent shape. They're not bent or tweaked in any way, so I might have some use for these shock towers sometime in the future. The boxing on the end is a little rumpled. The stuff on the forward side mostly. These two back pieces are not, though. But anyway, so that's what I'm going to do there. Like I said, it's only a 1/16 of an inch of difference between out of symmetry, which is not too horrible. Inside, you know, I had to go through the trouble of taking out the rugs to see what kind of things I was dealing with. These are the tops of the frame rails over here, the inside hat channel, and you can see that it's welded along all inside here. Like I said, there's quite a bit that I'd be compromising by taking those out, and I don't see the real need because everything in here is just dandy. What I had to do, what I didn't want to do, is to take the entire dashboard out with the steering column and the subframe and everything. Now that was something I didn't want to do because, you know, just a little bit more stuff to forget when it's time to put it back together, let's just say, because I know that's a little ways down the road. But unfortunately, in order to just take the dash pad off of this frame, everything is bolted from the front, but also it's bolted from the rear side, which is near up against the windshield bed. So it's impossible to get some of there's some rear bolts. You probably can't see it. I can't lift this darn thing. I had to use an engine crane to get this thing out of the car. That's how heavy it was. Strained my back a little bit just getting it up and over that shifter. I should have probably just dismounted the shifter because there's nothing left attached to that. So, but I was determined to get it out, and so I got it out just to get the dash pad off. And I was looking at the dash pad, see if there's any way I could save it, but they've engineered it to where there's these metal doors right here that pretty much ruin the top of the... Now what I could do is I could put a piece around here if I decided I didn't want to put the bags back in, but I do want to put the bags back in and make it correct so that, you know, everything's operational. And unfortunately, finding out that this piece is probably the most expensive piece on the whole deal. Now it's got an MSRP suggested retail price for this plastic and whatever dash support of about $1,900. Yeah, that's crazy. But what are you going to do? I mean, this is ruined. And like I said, I could probably put some kind of a top cover on here, but that's kind of hokey, and it wouldn't be safe with another bag in there, because these blast doors, so to speak, are made so that there's little tabs that explode out, and this whole thing shifts up and away. I tried bending these back, but they're pretty much 90 degrees to the top of the panel when they're blown out like that. And like I said, this is fastened, you know, all along the backside here, up against the windshield, and you really can't see all the fasteners. It's almost impossible. You can see them in the car with a flashlight, but there's no tool that's going to get to them. So you have to, and consequently, you have to take the entire thing out just to get the dash pad off. But anyway, this is one little expensive thing. I saw there's some discount Mopar stuff that you can get it for about $1,300, but that's still not pretty as far as cost is concerned. But yeah, so I'll be back and forth thinking about that. There's the engine and transmission just sitting over there, and the suspension. I know I'm not going to be getting to that for a while, so might as well cover it up, get it out of the way. But yeah, so that's a pretty neat deal. I did find out something also interesting, is that these being the Takata bags, which are under a recall, even though they're exploded, and this is a salvage title vehicle, the dealer will replace these bags for free. So hooray for me. I got one little cost savings. Both of these bags. Oh, that's the other thing I was thinking of doing. I thought, well, hey, I'll trick this whole thing out, since the clock spring in the steering column is compromised, and also the let me show you where the module is. The module is buried. It's another thing you have to practically remove the dash for. This is buried way under here, and it's almost impossible to get this darn thing out with the dash in the way. But this is the SRS module that controls the airbags. And I thought, well, I'll just take the SRS module that's not compromised from this car and put it in over here, and likewise with the bags and so forth, and get the whole thing plug and play, and then take it to the dealership and have them change out just the bags. But unfortunately, that's VIN coded to the car, and that won't work for another reason. While I was taking off the interior, I looked up in here and found out, oh, look, there's unexploded side airbags, for curtain airbags, I should say. And so even if I wanted to, that system with just 2 airbags will not talk to a system like this that has both the passenger and the driver, and then the curtain airbags, and of course the belts are compromised. The ratchet is gone from the belts. They'll move out. They'll move out, but they won't catch. So that's exploded in there too. They have to be pulled out and either rebuilt or get some replacements for those. So sorry for being so long-winded, but that's it for now. Thanks.